Right, welcome back folks. It's been a while and what we've got in today is this Vauxhall Vivaro. I think it's a 2011, it's the Mark 1 Vivaro and it's in for some front discs and pads on it. Apparently the front pads have been binding on the discs for the owner, so I've actually gone and got some new discs and pads for this vehicle. It does also have a water leak as well from the front. Suspect radiator because there's a couple of drips coming from each end of the radiator, so it could just be a rotten radiator at the bottom there. We're not too sure yet. We're not going to be looking at that in this video. In this video it's primarily just changing the front discs and pads on it. So I will show you us doing that. I'll only show it on one side because it's going to be repetitive on the other side. So we'll get this side done first, see what the brakes are like behind these wheels. Hoping to see, I say, a bit of a really low brake pad. So the owner reckons he hasn't actually put no brake pads on this, and he's had it for about 4 years. He doesn't do many miles in it, so it's due them now. We'll get this wheel off, I'll get it jacked up, and then we'll come back and take a look. So I'll see you once we've got this wheel off. Right, so coming in folks, we've got the van up on axle stands, so both front wheels are off in the air now. So just having a look here, the brake pads are well worn. The discs have got a little bit of grooves in them, otherwise there's no lip on them, so they would have been good to go again if we had this van in just a little bit earlier, just so we didn't get any scoring on the discs, but that's just what happens. So we are going to change them discs as well. So coming in here, it's a bit dark in here, I'm afraid. You've got two 12mm bolts to undo. There's one there and there's one literally underneath it. So you've got one at 12 o'clock and one at 6 o'clock. You undo them two bolts, this will lift your carrier off, and then coming in here, just where my finger is there. So again, you've got an 18mm bolt there. Again at 12 o'clock, straight underneath at 6 o'clock, another 18mm. So in theory, you only need 19mm sockets for your wheel hubs, and then a 12mm and an 18mm, and that will get you where you need to be. And then obviously you'll need your little star drive there to take your disc off. We'll come to look at the sizes of that when we get to it. But first of all, we need to get this caliper off. And I have squirted with a bit of WD-40 just to give us a bit of a helping hand. Right, I'm not sure what you can see. As I say, it is a bit dark and it's hard to get the camera in at these angles. So again, oh, that was nice and easy to do. So that's the first 12mm just cracked. And then again, we've got one just at the bottom there. You probably can't see that in shot, but it's the best I can get you at the minute. Oh, well, that's nice. Hopefully the 18mm is just as easy to undo. So we can get these two undone now. And if you're only just changing the pads, you wouldn't need to take the 18mm out because we're taking the disc off. We do really need to take that off. You might be able to angle it out, but just for the sake of the two nuts, just take them out. So that's one out. And that's the second one out. So in theory, we should be able to just prise this caliper off. And I'm just going to take that brake line out of the housing there. So just get ready to catch it, because you don't want this dropping and swinging on the brake line. So when you get that out, just make sure you put that nice and up and out of the way, not kinking the hose. So that's lovely, that's actually wedged in there nicely. So now what we want to be doing is, let's just take this brake shoe out. Look, as you can see, I will show you outside in a minute, but there is literally nothing left on that pad now. That has well seen its day. There's a little bit of meat left on the outside, so the inner one's worn down quicker. So let me just get my 18mm now. And then let's get that on there, and let's see how tough these ones are. Oh, got it. See, it does help to just spray things down and let it soak in for a bit before you get going. So just give it a squirt and then go off and sort the other stuff out. Get your brake discs and pads ready while that's soaking in. So let's just give that one a go. There we go. Lovely. Hopefully the other side's going to be nice like this, because this has been a bit of a pleasure, to be fair. No messing about. Look at all that crap on me in the lovely sockets out there. Oh dear. We just had a... when I was jacking it up, I did have a little look underneath to see about this water leak, and the bottom of the radiator is actually gone. It is split. There's a leak there, but when we... but upon jacking it up, a lot of water did come down the back of the engine as well. But I'll have to investigate that, because I'm not sure if that's just water sitting on the engine in the little crevices. So that would be something to investigate when we get onto that. So this is going to be a nice, quick, simple job, I reckon. Mind you, it's always the way. One side goes lovely, and the second side always a little pain. So, oh, that screw's come undone literally by hand. So I don't know if you just saw that. I just grabbed that out of the toolbox just to check for size, and look, it's not actually even done up tight. They don't need to be tight, these anyway, but yeah, just done it by hand, that. And that was a T40 piece, that was, for that screw. So lift that disc off. Obviously we are going to have to push those pistons back in. I'm not sure if they are push or winding on these. So I'm just going to give this hub a bit of a clean up. It's not too bad, to be honest with you, but I'd just like to just clean any surface rust or crap off of them. It's just good practice to keep things tidy and clean. There we go. Right then folks, so as I said a minute ago, give that a nice clean on your hub. I've just did push my pistons in, but I forgot to put the camera on for that. And what I use is I just use a big set of grips, back of the caliper onto the piston face. Just put something there, just protect your piston face, and just gently squeeze it in, and both pistons went back in lovely there. So I've just been cleaning up my carrier. I've just cleaned the slides where the brake pads actually sit. So just make sure you give them a nice clean. Get yourself a wire brush, just give them a nice clean up there. And now we're just going to check the pins. So just pull these pins out, as you can see there. They will pull out. There we go. They're not too bad actually, but I will give them a clean up again. Bit of crap on them, but not a lot. So what I'm doing now, look, is I've just wound the tissue up into that port there, just to clear any excess out. There we go. That's lovely and clean in there now. So, and don't forget, when you put them in, just put yourself a nice bit of grease in there, just to ease up with the lubrication in there. They're both greased up now, and they're sliding lovely now. Perfect. So runners are clean, pins are clean, freely turning, so we shouldn't get any seizing or sticking brakes now. So what we're doing now is we'll start rebuilding this back up again. So hopefully this is the right size disc, and we've gone for APEC discs and pads this time, which are quite a decent brand actually, anyone that knows anything about brakes. And I've just seen there you actually get a new screw there, so we haven't got to use that old disc screw. Where's it? Oh, it's behind the disc. So I'm just going to quickly lay these discs back to back, just to make sure everything's as it should be. And they are spot on in diameter and the same thickness, so I'm happy with that. We can go ahead and fit these discs. And I say these are a nice decent disc, these. So look for your little locating screw on there, and just stick it on there like that. Just get that screw out. It might be a different size now. It might not be the T40 like the old one, because they do vary in the aftermarket stuff. But no, that is a T40. So yeah, we can just do that up now. So these haven't got to be tight, but I'm just going to that's it. That's all you need on that. So that is one disc on. And before we actually go and try this vehicle out, we will clean the discs down again, because sometimes they do have residues on them, and obviously you get your own greasy hands on it. So all you just need to do is give it a squirt like that, both sides, get yourself a bit of clean roll, and then you just go around it just like that. And again, that's just pulled some grease off of there, and I will do that once we've actually finally got the brake pads on again. So we'll always have a final clean down. And one other thing to mention, I like putting a bit of copper slip just on the outside of this hub here, so sliding the disc on and the wheel on, hopefully nothing seizes in the near future for the next person that works on this vehicle. So now we can go ahead and we will stick our carrier back on, and again I'm just going to run a bit of copper slip just over them runners there, just to help everything run freely and prevent anything from seizing up again. So yeah, we'll get our screws, just clean everything and just give it a little bit of copper slip. Right guys, that's the carrier back on now. I'm not sure how much of that you saw, because the camera actually overheated. It's really hot here today, and I say the camera overheated and it did stop recording, so you have to take my word for that. But as I say, I didn't show you these brake pads in the light, so that's the pad that come out of it there. You can see there's nothing on that really, and that's what it should look like. So let's just get you a comparison there. Can you see the difference there? Look at all the meat on that one there to that. There's nothing there. That's down to the base plate, this old one, and there's a hell of a lot more on that one there. So yeah, we're going to go ahead now and refit these, and that's the reason you have to push the pistons back in, because where this one's pushed the pistons back out, you need to push them back in to get your new pads in. And what you do there is, again, they just sit in them runners that we've greased up, and that's why we just grease them, just so they get a little bit of a free slide in there. Literally you just go from the back again and they sit in just like that. And I did notice you do actually get new caliper bolts as well, so you don't need to reuse the old ones. So we've got two fresh new ones there. We can come ahead now and grab our caliper, if we can get it back out. So we've got our caliper now, and we're hoping that should just slide on lovely now. And with these new plates, you don't need to stick, on the olden days you used to stick a bit of copper slip on them for the anti-swill, but they actually come with these swill plates on them now, so you don't need to do that. Right, so I'm just going to put these two new carrier bolts in. Again, a bit of slip on them. Just wiggle them until they start threading in. Get the bottom one. There we go. So they're both started now. So it is a bit tight for space under here, so you have to bear with me, and it's a bit dark. I'm trying to keep the camera under the wheel arch to keep it out of the sun, you see, because whenever it's in the sun, I say it overheats, this camera. Not very good for sunlight. So again, you ain't got to go too mad and swing off them. They just want to be nipped up. I'm happy with that. Just check that one again. So that is actually this brake done, pad and disc on this side. So I'm just going to go ahead now and just clean everything up, as I said earlier. Get your brake cleaner, spray your disc right round, and we'll do that on the inside as well. And then I'm just going to go ahead and do the other side and get this wrapped up. Hopefully, this, without filming it, this could have only took me 15 to 20 minutes to get from start to finish. Longest part will be jacking the car up, getting the axle stands under and all that really. So yeah, doing this is probably about a 15-minute job on its own once you've got your wheel off, as long as it's straightforward and quite easy as I've had it here. I got quite lucky with these nuts and bolts not being seized on, so I'm going to wrap this little video up. It's only a quick little short one for you. I might show you me taking the radiator out of this, because apparently to take the radiator out of these Mark 1 Vivaros, it is a front end off basically, front bumper, all the grille and everything. You can't just lift them up out of the engine bay like the good old days with the cars. They're actually built over the radiators now. So yeah, I'm just going to get cleaned up on this side, get this wheel back on, and I'm going to crack on with the other side. So that is just a quick little insight how to do these Vivaros. I've got my own Vivaro. I've got the Mark 2015 Vivaro, and I've got to do pads all the way around on that. So I might bring you back for showing you that. I might just only record the doing the back ones, because obviously the front ones are going to be the exact same as this pretty much. So yeah, I'm going to leave it here for this little one. And if you have enjoyed these videos, check out my other playlists on Vauxhall Vivaros if you've got a Vivaro. And I'm going to leave it here. And until next time, we'll see you about.